live on Twitch and YouTube. Lastly, get my phone plugged in so we can. Oh shit! Fucking chargers all the way over there. Hello, big kitty. I got a Penelope, the stream kitty. Yes, I got the stream kitty here. People are going to see the red and know this is the AFC South and AFC West edition. And they're going to be like, damn, this guy's freaking a Chiefs fan. No, trust me, I am not a Chiefs fan. All right. All right. Hey, what up, Snapchat? I am theroo802, and we're live right now on YouTube and Twitch. We're about to go live on TikTok as well. We're talking AFC South and AFC West tonight. We're going to double up so we can start fantasy football talk tomorrow. I know it's early, but hey, it's never too early for fantasy football, guys. Some people are doing Dynasty League drafts. I'm not one of them, but nonetheless, I want to prepare everybody for some key players to draft, some key players to avoid, and I look forward to seeing you all on here. God bless. I love you all, and I hope you all have had an amazing day. Okay, let's get the TikTok fired up. My people have waited long enough. My favorite people in the world, which is all of you. Okay, please tell me you didn't switch up my stream key again for me. Well, stream key they do, but stream URL, because that's just being honest, kind of a pain in the cock. When you have to change both, it's a pain. Okay, cool. We're live on YouTube, so I can close that out. Load up my Gmail. Okay. Load this up. Vertical outputs. At least my frickin' OBS hasn't been a complete pain in the cock lately. There's that silver lining. Knock on wood. Because dude, if I jinx myself, I'm gonna cry. Okay, we are now live on TikTok. Whoops. Some familiar former players who are coaching in the NFL this season: Robert Woods, Reggie Wayne, Trace McSorley, Matt Schaub. Don't know who Dan Skipper is. Wes Welker, DeMarco Murray, Willie Snead the fourth. What? Willie Snead's a fucking coach now? KJ Wright's a linebackers coach. Antoine Randall L's a wide receivers coach and assistant head coach. Yo, that's actually fucking wild. Hang on, let's get Insta on board here. What up, Insta? I'm the theroo802. We're doing the AFC West and AFC South editions of the previews tonight. We're doubling up. And then we'll be able to start fantasy football as of tomorrow. We'll start talking fantasy football for Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll go on to the NFC next week for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we'll be back on fantasy football for Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Let's get my butt back into the stream. All right. Let's get me shared out there. Add to story. Pull up the web browser. Let's go to good old ESPN, and we're gonna, shout out to one of my best friends in the whole world, Marshall. Hope you're watching tonight, brother. We are going over your team first, man. He's one of my best friends. His ass is all the way down in Texas now. I should text him. Just told him I'm talking tight. So this is an interesting quarterback. You got Cam Ward, Mitchell Trubisky, Will Levis, and Hendon Hooker. That is a very, very interesting quarterback room. A lot of those guys were, well, you got a number one pick in Ward. You got a top 5 pick in Trubisky, Levis. It's like, that's a lot of draft pedigree, to say the least, that's in that room. But, ooh, what? My boy Michael don't, are you serious? I gotta know. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I love that. Michael Carter is on the Titans, man. I'm rooting for him, dude. 100%. Damn. This team looks like the fucking Jets from a few years ago. They got Tony Adams. They got Jacob Martin. They got Solomon Thomas. They got Jermaine Johnson. They got John Franklin Myers. And I think I already said Tony Adams, but damn, dude. They weren't. Robert Saleh freaking flat out brought the New York Jets to the former Jets players to Tennessee. Might want to nickname them the Tennessee Jets. But anyways, so outside of that, before we go fully into their roster, they knew they needed to help out quarterback Cam Ward. They knew they needed a little bit more talent there. So they went heavy on. Actually, they went pretty balanced overall. Wide receiver Carnell Tate with the 4th overall pick. Quite frankly, that was the kind of the guy I wanted the Jets to go after to pair him with Garrett Wilson, but coming out of wide receiver U, aka Ohio State, then they added with their 2nd first-round pick Kendrick Falk, edge rusher from Auburn. Drafting anybody out of the SEC isn't a bad move. So kudos to them. Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas, with their 2nd rounder. And then they did not pick again until the 5th. And where they drafted a guard named Fernando Carmona, offensive guard from Arkansas. Then they drafted running back Nicholas Singleton out of Penn State. Then they drafted 2 in the 6th with Jackie Marshall, defensive tackle from Baylor. And then Pat Coogan, center out of Indiana. Indiana guys got fucking drafted. Mendoza should be sending them all those guys should be sending Mendoza a thank you letter. And then you got Jaron Kanik, tight end out of Oklahoma, to round out Tennessee's draft picks. Overall, I don't think they did a terrible job there. Bringing in Carnell Tate, who can be basically your number 1 wide receiver. As we go back to the depth chart, you have, and let's face it, they also did a really good job by bringing in Wan'Dale Robinson, who I was very surprised the Giants let him go. I will say for Michael Carter, I feel like he's going to have an uphill battle here with Pollard, Tajay Spears, and Nicholas Singleton, who just barely got drafted. Unless Carter full-on beats out Singleton and Singleton becomes a practice squad guy, unfortunately, I do not expect Carter to make the roster, which is sad to me. But they have Carnell Tate, Wan'Dale Robinson, Calvin Ridley. That's your 3. That's a pretty good set of receivers. Plus, you still have Elick Alamaner, who was one of the guys that Cam Ward actually threw to quite a bit. You have Chamir Dyke. You have Bryce Oliver, KJ Osborne. That's a name I haven't heard in a minute. He hasn't really panned out, and now he's made his way onto the Titans. The Titans, though, truth be told, they don't look terrible. That receiving core is going to be nice, and that's going to also open up some holes for Pollard. I wouldn't be surprised if Pollard and Spears both have pretty decent seasons out of each other, out of that backfield. Hopefully, with the offensive line pickups here, both the offensive linemen, though, I will say, just so everyone knows, they are backups, but they're 2nd string, so that's a pretty good sign coming out of they weren't really picked super high. As for the edge rusher, let's see. Got Cody Barton, who's still in his spot as the middle linebacker. Cedric Gray, he was their pick from 2 years ago. He was a 4th round pick. Wow. Kudos to him still being there. Anthony Hill Jr. is that. So, Anthony Hill Jr. is that 2nd round pick that I just mentioned. That's crazy when people that are born in 2005 are being drafted now. Jesus. I was in elementary school, dude, when this guy was born. But Anthony Hill Jr. is behind Cody Barton right now. I would suspect that he's still going to see the field. They do not have much depth at the Sam linebacker, though. James Williams Jr., and that's it. So I would suspect that somebody's going to end up over there. And James Williams Jr. is a 7th round pick who did not play a ton last season. So the fact that they went in with him as their number 1 guy, and he's a 7th round pick, proves that dude's earned it. With your well linebacker, you have Cedric Gray and Mahmoud Diabate. But they have a relatively young team. Barton is relatively their old man in this on this defense. They have a lot of young pieces. Again, they are probably going to be a rebuilding squad. They're not going to be super good, but I will say seeing Franklin Myers, Jeffrey Simmons, and Jermaine Johnson together, I feel like that's a good recipe there. Solomon Thomas isn't a bad backup defensive tackle. I like him. But they will definitely be better than they were last season. And now we will go to their regular season schedule. And they play the Jets, week 1. My favorite team. I picked the Jets to win that game. So they start off 0-1. They lose to Philly week 2. Lose to the Giants week 3. Lose to the Ravens week 4. Lose to the Texans week 5. Week 6 they beat the Colts. So that's their first win of the year. Week 7 they beat Cleveland. So 2-5. Cincinnati they lose. It's 2-6. They lose to Jacksonville 2-7. Lose to Dallas 2-8. Lose to Jacksonville again. That's 2-9. Lose to Washington. That's 2-10. Right? 2-10. Yep. Lose to Detroit. 2-11. Beat the Colts. That's 3-11. Beat the Raiders. 4-11. Lose to Pittsburgh and lose to Houston. So that's 4-13. And I will say, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that they could win 5 games. I don't think they're winning any more than that, but they are going to take a step in the right direction, especially after last season being such a disaster for the Titans. But I expect that they will be one of the last place teams. And even the Colts wins. You will see. I just don't think the Colts are going to be very good. Daniel Jones coming off of such a serious injury, guys. I feel like anybody that's expecting the Colts to be super, super good. I also would love to see Anthony Richardson out there somehow. But that is my take on the Titans. Now we're going to the Colts. Colts did not have a first round pick due to them trading for Sauce Gardner. You got C.J. Allen, linebacker out of Georgia. A.J. Halsey, safety out of LSU. Jalen Farmer, offensive guard out of Kentucky. Bryce Boucher, linebacker out of Oregon. George Gums Jr., edge rusher out of Florida. Caden Curry, edge rusher out of Ohio State. Seth Gowan, running back out of Kentucky. And Deion Burks, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. Considering what they gave up in the offseason by letting Pittman walk for basically nothing, that's one of the reasons why I'm not very high on them. They do have Tyler Warren still. They still have Nelson, one of the best left guards in football. Daniel Jones. You got Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson, Riley Leonard, and Easton Stick. Yo, JU, how you doing, brother? They got a full quarterback room. Easton Stick, he's been on that team for a little bit now. Yeah, 2019. He's been their backup quarterback. He was the guy that came after whatchamacallit there. What you talking about? I'm talking about the AFC South, and then we're gonna be talking about the West tonight. We talked about the North last night. I was only gonna do one, but I'm like, fuck it. Let's get them both out of the way so we can talk fantasy football tomorrow and Sunday. Quite frankly, I'm not very high on the Colts this year, guys. If there's any Colts fans tuning in, sorry. Probably think I'm an asshole. Their offense will be decent, but I just don't see Daniel Jones being great this year because coming off of such a significant injury. But other moves, I will say about the other thing I will say about the Colts though is their offense might not be great this year, but I think their defense is going to be solid. My boy, my favorite player in the league, Sauce Gardner, still fucking, I hate it that he's on the Colts. Moogie, you better know what the fuck you're doing there in New York, because if you just traded Sauce Gardner and we don't fucking get better out of it, that's gonna be his head on a fucking platter. Because Jets fans don't fuck around. But anyways, their defense will still be really good with Charvarius Ward coming in to help, Cam Bynum there, Sauce Gardner, which is going to make any freaking team better. They got DeForest Buckner still. Overall, this Colts defense should be one of the top 10, top 15 defenses. Their offense, on the other hand, like I said, Jonathan Taylor is going to have to carry a huge load for them offensively in order for them to succeed. And now as we go to their schedule, ooh, they do not have an easy start to the season. Oh, God, man. They play Baltimore, they play Kansas City, they play Houston, they play Washington, and then they play Pittsburgh. Ouch. Talk about a good old-fashioned woodshed whooping. Baltimore, that's an L. Going to Kansas City is going to be an L. They play Houston. That's a winnable game, depending on which Houston team shows up this year. I'm going to give it to Houston, though. So they're 0-3, 0-4, because I don't think they're beating Washington. I don't think they're beating Pittsburgh either. That's 0-5. They beat Tennessee. Or no, I have them losing to Tennessee. But maybe I got to change that one because they do have Jonathan Taylor at least, and they have a better defense than I remembered. Yeah. We'll say they beat Tennessee. They're going to lose to Minnesota. I think they could beat Jacksonville, but I'm going to pick Jacksonville in that one. Dallas, they're going to lose to. Miami, they're going to smoke. Houston, they're going to lose to again. Giants, they're going to lose to. Philly, they're going to lose to. They're going to beat the Titans. They're going to beat Cincinnati. They're going to beat Cleveland. They're going to beat Jacksonville at home the last week. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 wins for the Colts this year. So I'll give them the in between of 5 to 7 wins. Colts will go back to the drawing board. And if that's the case for the Jets, they have their first round pick again for this year. And I'm like, yes, please suck. Please suck. Please. But so that means they're going to be towards the bottom of their division as well. And now we go to Houston. With C.J. Stroud, David Montgomery, Woody Marks, and Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, and then you have Tank Dell potentially going to be back for week 1 after. And I feel like you can't expect a lot from that kid after the catastrophic knee injury that he suffered in the playoffs 2 years ago. You're asking for a lot if you think he's going to be the same player after all this time. It's a miracle that he's even playing. But defense is still going to be nasty over there in Houston. Offensively, I feel like that's where they're going to be challenged because even though David Montgomery's there, David Montgomery's not a number 1 back. Quite frankly, in my opinion, I don't think David Montgomery's a number 1 back. Nico's going to get them yards. Higgins is going to be good. But I don't know. Their offensive line has been shaky at best. So we'll go into their schedule. They got Buffalo, Cincinnati, Indy, Dallas, Tennessee, Jacksonville, and the Giants before they hit a bye week. So 0-1. Their defense might save them against Cincinnati. I'm going to say they beat Cincinnati. So they're 1-1. Beat the Colts 3-1. Dallas, they lose to, or it wouldn't be 3-1. It would be 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3 with the Giants, 4-4 with the Chargers game, 5-4 with Cleveland. Then they play Indy again. And I said they would split the matchups. So this one they lose. 6-5. Play Baltimore, that's 6-6. Pittsburgh, that's 6-7. Washington, that's 6-8. Jacksonville, that's 7-8. Philly, that's 7-9. Green Bay, that's 8-9 maybe. And then they play Tennessee. So that overall they'd have 8 wins, I think. So I say their ceiling is 10 wins, depending on how things turn out. But yeah, I'd say 10 wins is their ceiling. About 7 is their basement. It's just a matter of which Texans team shows up. And now we can go to Jacksonville. I think they're gonna definitely take a step back because not having they're putting all their eggs in one basket for Tootin there. They still got Travis Hunter's a backup wide receiver now, and they have him as their number one corner. Okay, that shall be interesting. I feel like you automatically can't draft him in fantasy because to be a wide receiver because he's not gonna play a lot. Oh my God, Chuma Adoga. That's a name I haven't seen in a while. Third round pick out of USC from the New York Jets back in 2019. Kudos to him. He's still in the league, dude. He's fucking right tackle, backup right tackle for the Jags. That's cool to see some former Jets still in the league. Um, I had to take a wild guess. Oh, they got Nick Mullins too. No way. Chris Rodriguez Jr. They grabbed him from Washington, I guess. That's sick. But realistically, they don't have a lot of big names there over in. They have Jacoby Myers and they have Brian Thomas Jr. And they have Parker Washington, which I have no idea really enough about him to be able to judge. Eric Armstead, Josh Hines Allen, Alukan, Aluakun is their will linebacker. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Let's go to their schedule, guys. We got Cleveland, win, Denver, loss, New England, loss, Cincinnati, loss, Philadelphia, loss, Houston said they were going to lose, so they have one win out of, so 1-5. Indy said they were going to lose. Baltimore, I say they're going to lose. Tennessee, they're going to win. Giants, they're going to lose. Tennessee, they're going to lose. Tennessee, they're going to win. So they'll take both games at it from Tennessee. There's 3-4 wins there. Chicago, I think they're going to beat. Because I don't think Chicago is going to be very good. Pittsburgh, they're going to lose. Houston, they're going to lose that one. Dallas, yeah, this is going to be a fucking disaster for them. You got Indy at the last week of the season. I'm going to say they lose that game as well. So, max I see them winning is maybe 7 games. But I could see them being as bad as winning 5 games. I don't think Jacksonville is going to be in the hunt in that division at all. And with that, we have completed the AFC South. And now we go on to the West, which will start with the Red Kingdom, the Kansas City Chiefs, who will look to bounce back after missing the playoffs for the first time in, I think, since the Alex Smith era in Kansas City. Hard to believe that was so long ago. Okay, let's go. Let's look at their depth. First of all, let's look at some of their major moves. They had 2 first-round picks. They drafted some defense. They drafted a lot of defense. The only offense they went after was Garrett Nussmeier in the 7th round, Cyrus Allen, a wide receiver out of Cincinnati in the 5th, and Emmett Johnson, running back out of Nebraska. The rest of it was pure defense. beefing up their defense here. Let's see. Nussmeier is their third string quarterback. You have Justin Fields behind him. Kansas City should be better having Kenneth Walker the third there. Only problem with Kenneth Walker the third is he has a lot of injury history. Emmett Johnson, that running back, is their second stringer. Amari Demercado, running back from Arizona last year, came over via free agency. Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton are your three wide receivers, with Travis Kelce back again and Noah Gray right behind him. Their offensive line, I don't recognize half the guys anymore. They've just moved their offensive line around so much. Karlaftis is still there on the defensive line with Chris Jones. Let's see, they got Nick Bolton still there, L'Jarius Sneed. They'll still be good this year. I know a lot of people are counting them out, saying they're not going to be very good. If Kenneth Walker stays healthy, that's going to help out Patrick Mahomes a lot. But the key question is, will Mahomes be ready for Week 1? He's participating in 11-on-11 team drills during Wednesday's training camp practice, according to Matt McMullen of the Chiefs' official site. Okay. So what are the chances like? That's crazy. Looking at his stats right now, averaging he had 267 touchdown passes already in his career, and that's not even 10 years in. Last year was one of is Mahomes was actually Mahomes' worst year as a starter. Like, he has never thrown that little amount of touchdown passes. He threw the same amount of interceptions that he had thrown the year previous with 11. He was sacked just as many times, even though he that like he actually played in two less games than he did the year previous. But you got to think that more than likely those last few years where they've been in it all the way to the end, man. They all the way to the end of the season. But that's gotta tire you out after a while. That's a lot of extra games on your body, especially in such a physical sport like football is. He's about to eclipse 36,000 passing yards this season. He'll eclipse that within the first game of the season. Yeah, no, I gotta say, he's his career is fucking crazy and impressive. He ran for the most that he's ever ran for rushing yards in his entire career last year, which is kind of crazy. But they'll be good again. Do I think their problem is that their division got so much fucking better around it. The Broncos got a lot better with getting Waddle. Their defense is also freaking studded. Um, on top of which, the Chargers also got better. The Raiders are going to be better, but they're also a rebuild. So I don't expect much from the Raiders this year. But week one they get the Monday night opener against Denver. I'm gonna say they lose that game. They beat Indy, beat Miami, beat Vegas. So that's 3-1. Chargers. I'll say Chargers at KC. That's gonna be a win for them. Then they get Seattle, Denver, and then us. So they are just out the gate. They are four. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say they lose in Seattle. So 4-3. They're gonna lose to Denver again. That's 4-4. They beat us. That's 5-4. Beat Atlanta. That's 6-4. Beat Arizona. That's 7-4. I'm gonna say they lose to Buffalo. So that's 7-5. Lose to the Rams. That's 8-6. Beat Cincinnati. That's 9-6. Lose to New England. That's 9-7. San Fran. Oh, that's a fucking tough one. I'm gonna say they win that one. 10-7 now. Um, 10-8. Oh no, it'd have to be 9-7 at that point. Because I got my fucking math all fucked up. Point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have them winning 12 games this year. That's going to be tough in that division. 12-5, basically. Say their ceiling is 12 wins, but their basement is like 9. As we go on to Denver. They're going to beat Kansas City. They're going to beat Jacksonville. They're going to lose to the Rams. Just spoiler alert. I think the Rams are going to win the whole fucking thing. So, 3. So, Broncos start off 2-1. Beat San Fran. That's 3-1. I'm gonna say they beat the Chargers. That's 4-1. Beat Seattle. That's 5-1. Beat Arizona. That's 6-1. Beat Kansas City. That's 7-1. Beat Carolina. That's 8-1. Bye week. 9-1 Vegas. 10-1 Pittsburgh. 11-1 Miami. 12-1 Jet on the Jets. Vegas again. Buffalo, I think that might be one of their tougher games. I'm going to say they win 12 games is their absolute max, maybe 13 wins. And then their lowest, I say they win 10 games. I just think this team is wicked good this year. Denver's going to be really, really fucking good. Damn, we're zooming through this shit. All right, we go to Chargers. Go Chargers, go. As Arnold once said. Chargers play Arizona and Vegas to start it off. They beat both of them. Lose to Buffalo, lose to Seattle with back-to-back tough road games. Lose to Denver. Lose to Kansas City in Kansas City. Lose to the Rams. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 losses for them right there. 3, 4 and 3 to start off. They lose to the Rams. They beat Houston. Lose to Baltimore. Beat us. Lose to New England. Lose to Tampa Bay. Beat Vegas. Beat San Fran. Beat Miami. Beat Kansas City in their own place. And then lose to Denver. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I see their ceiling being 8, 9 wins, while their basement could be like 7 at the very least, I would say. And we only have one team left, and that's the Vegas Raiders. And let's just face it, they're going to be another team that is going to be at the very bottom of the league again. Nice. ESPN Unlimited is going to carry a lot of the preseason games. Fuck yeah. Fuck yes. That makes me very happy. Miami, LA, New Orleans, Kansas City, New England. So, loss, 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 loss. No, they beat Cleveland. Yeah, that's the only win that they're going to have all year. Maybe Arizona. Their ceiling is like 3 wins. Which means automatically top 5 pick again, guys. So that's my analytics for the AFC this year. So just for the hell of it, let's look at the standings really quick, and I'll show you again. To review, we have Buffalo and New England winning basically neck and neck in that division. Then you have the Bengals. You have the Steelers and the Ravens at the top of the North. You have the Jags and the Texans at the top of that division. Then you have Denver and Kansas City at the top of the West. And then we will be doing NFC next week. Hey, Eddie! All right, I'm gonna hit you with my thoughts here. So, what do you think? I think Denver and Kansas City is gonna be in the West. They're gonna lead the West. In the South, I think it's gonna be Jacksonville and Houston, which I think Houston's probably gonna win that division. And I have Baltimore and Pittsburgh neck and neck in the North, and then I have Buffalo and New England in the East. Would you say that's a pretty fair outlook on things? What do you think they're at A? Or do you have an opinion on those teams? I guess I got Broncos, Texans, Bengals, Bills. So we're pretty much right spot on, except for the Bengals one. Only reason I don't have the Bengals winning, man, is because they don't have a good defense. Am I retarded? Don't answer that. Cheers, brother. Hit me with some questions there, Eddie. What do you got? Football questions for me, broski? I'm trying to make this go over an hour there, brother. What do you think? Got any really good football questions for me that for this year's season? We're gonna be doing fantasy football talk tomorrow, man. You should join up, and I'm gonna get a bunch of people on a messenger call, and I'm gonna talk. We're all gonna talk on the stream tomorrow night. Like, I I want to try to get a bunch of us to talk fantasy football, give so that Saturdays and Sundays that's the way it's gonna be. Like playing a game right now, boy, and I'm busy tomorrow. Damn you! You busy all day tomorrow? And what are you playing? Kind of curious. Oh, nice. Oh, if you're good until like 6, man, I'm streaming at 4, brother. So if you want to even just jump in for an hour, man, like be my guest, dude. Like 100% be my guest, man. Like, I'm gonna try to get Trav and Ty involved in the chat. So and whoever else, I'm gonna make sure I make a post about it tomorrow, early in the morning. That hey, yo, this is what's the plan, everybody. Anybody that wants to be involved that isn't, and yet you have to have the requirement is you can't be a dumb fucker when it comes to football. So it's not just gonna be, oh yeah, you want to talk football? Be my guest. Hop on. No, you actually have to know what that to a point what you're talking about. How's the NASCAR game going there, bot? Good to hear, man. I'm gonna have this fucking thing instead. Oh man, I can't wait for football, man. I really can't. I'm gonna be studying all the freaking football, fantasy football stuff I can at this point. I want to be a goat at this shit because I'm gonna be creating fantasy football content pretty much straight out. About to take a smack off the old Penn Roethlisberger. Yo, the Penn Roethlisberger. That's funny. The Penn Roethlisberger. That is actually wild. All right, we're at the 52-minute mark over here on TikTok. 56-minute mark on the old Mando. It's Fernando, you ding dong. Fernando Pendo. Yo, Pendoza is wild. Pendoza is wild. Why are you getting off? Quite frankly, man, I'm not sure what else to talk about. I've already cleared through all the AFC South and AFC West stuff, unless we really want to talk some fantasy football. I've been playing so many games lately on stream, man. I've been kind of like, that's why I've shifted completely into sports talk, man. Excuse me. Ooh. Okay, why the hell isn't my... I'm trying to, like, ESPN profile. Um, I also got to make commissioner, a commissioner of my, a co-commissioner of my league, too. Oh, that's one. No, do not delete the account. I need to log out, log in. League manager tools. Uh, I do not have Rocket League. I don't think my PC would handle it quite well. Okay, so we got him with the commissioner powers. Also, I think you might be receiving an invite to this league. Say $50 buy-in, just so you're aware. If that's something you have interest in, I should say. Is that something you might be interested in there, Pendejo? Wide receivers. Three wide receivers, two flex. Yeah, but the thing is, that means you price out the fucking pretenders. People that are at that actually want to. We're all trying to make it where we want to fucking play. Well, the thing is also for me, I'm like, dude, it makes it more interesting. I want to win. I want to win some fucking money, and that's the only way I know that I will 100% actually want to fucking. Because if there's no money involved, I don't give a fuck. Okay, so I gotta fix the scoring a little bit. Edit scoring settings. 20 yards to point. Oh, you're playing golf, buddy? Nice. Got it scoring again. Drawing board on the score. Put the belt to Apollo and Dylan in golf the other day. Let's fucking go. Good job there, Eddie. Fucking wax that ass, bro. Oh shit. Okay, so I fucked up again. There ain't no way that that's gonna make it that much of a drastic fucking change to the quarterback. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to fix the scoring again because I fucked it up even more. The scoring settings, fuck. Adjusting the scoring in my league. I feel like that's the only fair way to do the scoring on, because otherwise it's gonna be freaking quarterbacks are only scoring fucking 10 points. It's like, and that's no fun. Rainbow the G, what's up, man? Updating scoring for this league. I'm gonna have to roll on my fucking back here after I get done this stream. Oh. Okay. Okay, so quarterbacks, some can average 31 points a week. Running backs, some of them can average 20 points a week projected. Wide receivers, only one is projected 20 points first week. Tight ends can average. That's crazy how many that don't project double digits in that. Hop in a party. I can do that. I just need to be on a. I need to. You're gonna have to give me a minute, brother. I also don't have a fucking mic. So I might just have to do it on my phone and call it good. Flex. Special teams. And kicker. Eddie, do you have Black Ops games, man? The re-releases for PS4, PS5, man? You would you let me download that so I can play it? Because you have it on PS5. I have a PS4. Anyways, that is going to conclude the stream for tonight, guys. I hope you all having a wonderful night. And Eddie, I will see you on the party here in a minute, brother. Anyways, God bless everybody. Peace out. I'll see you again later on today for fantasy football. Ooh. Realize I was still on YouTube and shit.